That boat is built to push limits. It's built for adventure. It's built to adapt to everything that you put it through, and it's built to take everything to the next level, just like us. Welcome to the Blue Top Podcast. We are Sofia and Ariana Jewelewicz, twin sisters and co-founders of Blue Top Legend, Blue Top Yachting, and Blue Top Performance. This is where we dive into all things yachting, maritime marketing, and running a business on and off of the water. From insider tips to stories that inspire, we're here to help you navigate success. Last time we shared the journey of finding our Dauntless and bringing her home. Today, we're diving more into why she became our heart boat and how she helped us shape Blue Top Legend into what it is today. This Dauntless has become the centerpiece of our brand. She truly exemplifies our brand's mission of having fun in nature and using what nature gives us in itself to live our lives to the fullest. Because of this boat, we are given a reason to get out in nature and get out on the water. We've met so many friends, so many incredible connections through this boat, and we haven't succumbed to the generational plague that has become screens and relying on these external forms of gratification with kids drinking out on the water and all of these random things that we don't need today. This boat is a blessing in so many ways. It taught us to have fun with each other and with nature in itself. To think that it all started with this 13-foot super sport is absolutely crazy. We are so blessed. You're right. Blue Top Legend is all about getting outside and having fun in nature, in the water, ditching screens for actual adventure in real life. It's not just about boats, but it's about the freedom that comes with them. If you think about it, when you're out on the water, the last thing that you actually want to do is scroll on your phone, take your phone out, look at a screen, because you have the gorgeous ocean surrounding you. You're busy having fun, talking to friends, swimming in the water, diving, soaking up the sun, feeling fresh air, and making memories that really don't require a Wi-Fi connection. Blue Top Legend has exemplified that on so many different levels. Ariana, after taking the boat out for the first time, what was it about the Dauntless that made us feel like this was the perfect boat for the next chapter of Blue Top Legend? How much more sturdy she felt. I remember hopping on that boat for the first time, taking her out pretty much right when we got her, and immediately feeling so much safer and comfortable. We were much higher from the water than we were on the 13-foot. That boat was really close to the water. It felt like there were 2 inches separating us and the water. But on the Dauntless, there's 2 feet. It was a very significant difference. It immediately made me feel like we could send this boat harder. We went out in the ocean, we pinned it. She was fast and she flew. I vividly remember the difference in the engine as well. With the Super Sport, we did have a two-stroke engine, which, as we've discussed in many previous episodes, gave us quite a bit of trouble with turning on and randomly turning off when it decided to. But this four-stroke switched on just like a car engine. It felt super reliable, and that sense of safety that I got from being on that boat compared to the Super Sport was exponentially different. Now, I felt safe on the Super Sport. That's why we were able to send it that hard. But especially after the crazy stunts that we pulled, I did feel like we were letting our adrenaline get the best of us. And I think that having a larger, more sturdy boat would allow us to still full send a little bit while also being naturally safer. Blue Top was originally two adrenaline junkies just pinning the throttle and hammering a little whaler. It's still that now, but now we can use our platform to create a larger focus on boating safety and critical issues in the industry like sustainability and ocean conservation, while also still managing to use our adrenaline, get airtime, and have fun out on the water. We have such a big platform now, and after quite a bit of conversation between ourselves and our family, we decided that it was time to start using it for good. As much good as pulling all these crazy stunts out on the water can bring, because it brings smiles to people's faces and makes them see how much fun you can have in nature itself. we've expanded it to so much more than that because we're still having fun. We're still full sending the heck out of that whaler with the biggest smiles on our faces, but now we're able to touch on boating safety, ocean conservation, cleaning up the water. We're able to partner with local brands, support local surf shops. It's truly turned into something so much bigger. This has allowed us to focus our efforts on lake cleanups, sustainable partnerships, local brand development, and of course, water sports. With the smaller boat, we weren't really able to go tubing or wakeboarding. With the Dauntless, it was so much heavier and more overpowered that it could pull a tube and make me go flying. So after we got that boat, tubing definitely became much bigger between me and Sophia. She would drive the heck out of that boat and flip me quite a few times before we called it a day. The speed on that 16-foot made tubing a heck of a lot scarier. In a good way, of course. It was so much fun. I just remember clenching on to those tube handles every time Sophia would pin the throttle, and I had zero control. It was so scary, but so much fun. Now, Sophia, why do you call the Dauntless your heart boat? What would you say makes her so special? Every time that I take this boat out, it really does feel like home. This boat has become not only part of who I am, but also part of who you are and part of who we are as twins. It's the boat that I trust the most, the one that I always know, oh, I can take this boat somewhere, it's not going to let me down. I know that we have a Yamaha. The Yamaha won't fail us. Whether I'm running through the intercoastal, exploring new spots, or just drifting without an anchor in the ocean, it gives me this sense of freedom that's almost impossible to put into words because it's not just about where I go, it's about how the boat makes me feel every time I go on that boat, even if I'm not listening to music, which is very rare because we usually like to blast our tunes very loud. You listen to the waves and you listen to the fresh air and the wind and the other boats coming by. It is a sense of peace and a sense of freedom that nobody will ever be able to explain. A lot of the time now, I take the boat out alone, especially with Ariana being in college up in Jax now. There's something about being on the water by myself, away from everything, and it gives me so much peace. Given my favorite thing in the entire world to do is spending time with Ariana, and to correlate, it's spending time with Ariana on the boat, specifically on Blue Top, dancing, having fun at the lake with friends, diving, you name it, we'll be out there on the boat partying. But now that Ariana's in college, when she left, I initially thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be using the boat now. It's going to be sitting. I'm not going to put hours on it. What if I have to sell it? That's not the case. I still use it. And while it's much different not having Ariana here because that makes it so much more fun when she is here, I'm still able to use it and get out and relax my mind to be away from everything. And I'll go in the ocean, I'll shut off the engine and just sit there for hours on end, watching the boats go by and the waves roll in. No noise, no distractions, just me, the boat, and the water. And it's a feeling that I don't get in any other aspect of my life. Like Ariana mentioned, we are almost obsessed with adrenaline. Yes, we love peace, but for some reason, the adrenaline keeps on finding us. And like Ariana mentioned again, the best part of our boat is that we can do it all. Tubing, wakeboarding, surfing, it handles it all with ease. It's stable enough if you just want to cruise in the intercoastal, but it also has the power to turn the calmest day into the biggest adrenaline rush. And that's what makes it so special because it's not just a one purpose boat, it's whatever we need it to be in that moment. Cruising, lake going, sandbar hopping, even if we go in 2 inches of water, that boat can handle it. If we go in 300 feet of ocean, this boat can handle it. And that's why this boat means so much to me because it's not just an adventure, it's about the moments that you can sit still and be calm and have a connection to the ocean while also pushing the limits and chasing the adrenaline, which is kind of our motto. The Dauntless has been with us through so much, every lesson, every challenge, every perfect day on the water, every day that our engine has not been so perfect or our steering has failed. It's not just the boat that I love, it's the boat that gets me, it's the boat that gets us. My goal is to have both Ariana and my kids use her. We're going to pass her down for generations, repower her a couple times. It's not going to be easy to hand over the keys, but our parents gave us so much, And I know Ariana and me both want to be able to do the same thing for our kids, to be even half of the parents that our parents have been to us. Ariana, with all that, how did the experience of upgrading boats prepare us to run Blue Top Legend? Upgrading boats required a very big leap of faith, and a lot of people wouldn't necessarily think of it like that because I understand to everyone, maybe a boat is just a boat, but to us, that boat became our life. It became our livelihood. It became our business. It became our job. It became so much more than just a boat. So the process of just being able to give that boat up because she couldn't necessarily be sold, she was pretty much broken. So the process of giving that boat up and deciding that it was time for a new one that we could be safer on, that would keep us safe, and that we could do a little bit more on, took a big leap of faith. With that being said, that leap has prepared us for so much more than I thought it would. It's prepared us to run Blue Top Legend, whether it be the social media or managing other people's social media or the business aspects with Blue Top Yachting or developing Blue Top Performance. Our entire brand was centered around that 13-foot boat. I remember initially being worried that we wouldn't be able to catch any air with the 16. That definitely did not ring true. While we can maybe catch a little bit less given the size and the weight difference of that boat, we're still able to full send it hard. And now we've got a bigger engine, so we could full send it even harder. We could pin that throttle even further. And now when we get a jump, it's a heck of a lot faster. I would like to say, I know Ariana does have a post drafted up, so everyone stay tuned because it will definitely prove that we can catch air in the 16-footer. That post is going to make some heads turn, let me tell you. Oh yeah. Wavy Boats has caught it on video a couple times, and they definitely haven't gotten quite a few of our jumps. They are only out on the weekends, and by chance, the weekends tend to be a little bit less rough on the weekends that we choose to go out. But during the week, when we do have time to go out between work, we have caught some massive waves, whether it be Sofia on her own or me with her, or even when it's flat, when we manage to somehow catch 3 feet of air. Don't ask me how we do it. I honestly have no idea. With Sofia at the helm, anything is possible. Amen. But all in all, getting air has definitely not been the issue. I was also forced to revisit the fact that none of this started intentionally. We were never seeking the attention. We didn't even know someone was videoing that inlet. We had no idea what would come out of just going out of the inlet for the first time. We started boating because we genuinely loved the water and we wanted to share that love with others. Being given that platform was a blessing. We realized that we could keep our brand centered around fun and showcasing our true personalities and adrenaline while also using it for good and promoting safe boating practices and ocean conservation. We moved on to bigger projects. We started getting noticed by a slightly larger audience, and that support that we have gotten has been unreal. The amount of support and love that we get from our followers is absolutely incredible. The comments that we get, the messages that we get. For those of you listening, I want you to know that we both read every single one of them, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, I don't know what it is, Spotify. We read every single one. And since I'm the one managing a good portion of those platforms, I always send those comments to Sofia so we both see it. Even if we don't respond, which I do my best to respond to the majority of them, but even if we don't, we see that. And those messages, those comments, those likes, that support is genuinely what keeps us going. Sometimes they can get hard. We do also get hate messages, hate comments. I'm not complaining because it just fuels the fire more, but sometimes it can get discouraging. It helps to remember that we have so many more supporters than we do people that want to tear us down. People began to appreciate what we had to offer. They started appreciating our new content that we were putting out when we first started the Instagram. So then we started sharing ocean cleanups with 4Ocean. We started sharing our own little cleanups where we would go out and pick up some trash from the intercoastal. Then we started moving on to boat show content as we started getting noticed by organizers of boat shows, and our followers absolutely ate that content up. Then we started doing giveaways with them and allowing our followers to be able to experience what we are experiencing and going to the boat shows and giving back. Then Sophia developed Blue Top Yachting, and we started going and offering yacht walkthroughs and posting that. All of that new content has allowed us to expand into so many different worlds and offer some sort of content to such a wide variety of people, while also continuing with our content geared towards adrenaline junkies and the typical BTL with bridge jumping, flipping off boats, tubing, kind of wakeboarding, even though I can't stand up, skimboarding, even though Sophia can't stand up, and of course, the iconic dancing. It has all turned into something so big, and I absolutely love watching it grow because it started with these little edits that weren't that great, to be honest, but we still got some crazy amount of support, and now we've expanded into yachting and fitness and nutrition coaching with Blue Top Performance, and more bridge jumping and more full sending and more tubing. It's allowed us to do so much more. Now, why do you think the Dauntless is the perfect representation of the Blue Top brand? If you had one thing that you could say about the Dauntless that completely changed the game for us, what would you say that is? That boat is built to push limits. It's built for adventure. It's built to adapt to everything that you put it through, and it's built to take everything to the next level, just like us. That's exactly what we do. It's not just a boat, but it's a statement. And you know that because every time we go out on the water, we aim to make connections everywhere and have fun everywhere we go. That boat exemplifies the freedom to do things our way, whether it means taking it offshore alone, even though we only have one engine, or towing friends on a wakeboard, even though we don't have a tow hook, or just shutting off the engine and floating in total peace, even though normal people would throw an anchor. It's a boat that doesn't fit into one category necessarily, but neither do we. Blue Top Legend is not just about one kind of boating lifestyle. It's about living the lifestyle that you have to the absolute fullest, no matter what it looks like on any given day. There have been times where both Ariana and me said, maybe it's not the best day to go on the boat. It's about to pour or a hurricane's coming. Yet we still do. We still go on the boat, and you know what? We still have the absolute time of our lives. I absolutely love the fact that you brought up that this boat taught us to live life to the fullest. That is one of the most important lessons that it taught us, obviously, on top of all the technical aspects of dealing with everything that the boat has broken or handling adversity when the engine quits on us and all of that. We learned to live life to the absolute fullest, whether it be in those circumstances where we did not have a functioning engine and there were whitecaps coming at us, or when the tubing rope gets stuck in the prop, or on the incredible days when we go out there and have the absolute time of our lives and leave the boat saying, there's no way we could beat that weekend. And then next weekend we continue to do that. And the weekend after we beat that weekend. This boat taught us to value every single moment in the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And we have learned so much in that, whether it be applying that to Blue Top as a business, as a brand, or even Blue Top Yachting and Blue Top Performance. We've learned to live every single moment to the fullest and cherish that moment. And it's truly been a gift because now I appreciate every little thing in life. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. We were given this platform for a reason. We were given these experiences for a reason. And now we're able to share that and be able to encourage others to live their life to the fullest. That's what we're trying to teach everyone. Don't take any moment for granted. Live each one to the absolute fullest and go live the heck out of your life. I love that you said that because I totally forgot about that. Every time we would go on the boat, we would say, okay, this is the weekend that we're going to beat last weekend. And we did that every single weekend. And every time we came home, we said, we just beat that last weekend. And it continued to happen and continued to happen. I forgot we did that, but each weekend now, we still continue to beat the last weekend. I don't know how we do it every time we go on the boat. It's a totally new adventure and it continues to expand our knowledge, expand our connections, and expand the fun that we can have. But the one thing about the Dauntless that completely changed the game for us was the ride. We've always been on the water for a decent part of our lives. Our dad owned boats at one point and then he got out of it and then we got into it. But this boat totally redefined what was possible. It's the first boat that actually made us feel like we could take on anything, bigger water, longer runs, new challenges without any hesitation. Given we did take the 13 into bigger water and we did take it on long runs and we had our fair share of challenges, but the way that it handles chop so effortlessly, it gave us confidence in a boat that we've never had before. And to say that you trust your boat with your entire life is a statement. But we can say that. This boat has saved us numerous times in the ocean when we decided to go out on maybe not the best days, but that's when Blue Top really leveled up. It wasn't just about having a boat, it was about having the boat that made every adventure feel limitless. And when Ariana and I are together, that's all we feel. We feel that we can take over the world and take on any challenge that comes with us. So this boat truly does exemplify the definition of us as twins. I was just going to say that this boat increased my trust in you so much. It wasn't just in you, it was in the boat. And being able to do that and literally say, I trust you with my life, don't kill me, brought us so much closer, especially on that crazy jump that Wavy Boat got where we basically went 90 degrees with the water. Amount of trust I don't think I will ever have in anyone else. What values from this journey, like resilience and adaptability, still guide us in the business today? Resilience and adaptability, like you mentioned, but also perseverance, being able to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Social media is unpredictable. Some people love our adrenaline junkie content, and others prefer more of the professional content with blue top yachting and the boat shows and maritime business. It's difficult to appeal to what everyone likes. Being able to create such a wide variety of content has allowed us to grow our platform and focus on many different aspects to share a little bit of everything. And this adaptability, which Blue Top can definitely be responsible for teaching us, given that we had to adapt to circumstances very quickly with the old boat, whether it be the engine failing or one of the many issues that has come up there, or being able to adapt from the 13-foot to the 16-foot, or professional adaptability in that space. And this has allowed us to appeal to such a greater audience and spread our love for boating even further than I thought we would ever be able to. The Dauntless was not just a boat, it was a stepping stone for growth and resilience, and she will always be the heart of Blue Top Legend. That's it for this episode of the Blue Top Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We loved having you on board. Make sure to follow us on social media for more behind the scenes moments and updates from Blue Top Legend, Blue Top Yachting, and Blue Top Performance. And remember, we're all about navigating excellence and anchoring trust. Don't forget to keep that throttle pinned. And as always, don't touch my throttle. We'll see you next time.